We're basically talking post-World War II depression. Like that's what we're looking at. The spend is out of control. Politicians doing whatever the fuck they want. Currency not being trusted overseas. That's probably what we're entering. I think we're entering a pretty bad season.
Let's say someone's watching that is not a millionaire, working on their way up, regular job, but they feel stuck. How should they prepare for what's coming next, you think?
So you've been traveling, hanging out, everything else like that. Obviously, we've seen the crypto markets go kind of crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
With the potential war in Iran, issues all across the Middle East with and what's going on in Gaza, Russia, Ukraine. There's conflicts all over the place. I'm sure that might have been played into it. But I guess I'll kind of just turn it to you. You can just give us an overview of like where we are in the crypto markets. How do we get here? What do you foresee as, the most probable outcome? I know obviously nothing is 100% set in stone, but what's your estimate and your just general thoughts on the whole situation?
For sure. So first of all, for the viewers listening and why they should even listen to me in the first place, I've been in crypto since 2016. Been buying Bitcoin since $588 when I was waiting tables. So I've been in the space for a really long time. At the point, it was only 2.5 Bitcoin, but that was my initiation into the space. The bull run of 2017 rolled around, got into Cardano, Tron, all these new altcoins. That was the ICO season. 2020 rolls around, we buy Pudgy Penguins, which is the largest NFT company in the world. We did over $40 million in retail revenue this year. Launched a token, multiple $1 billion, listed everywhere. Really legit, incredible product. And this bull run rolled around, which is we saw
after Trump got elected.
Yeah, after Trump, after right before, kind of like you could see the pendulum swinging towards Trump winning. I think Elon and all these guys endorsed him, already knowing that he had secured his place. That's why you see a lot of these guys move from New York or California down here and start getting close to Mar-a-Lago and all the fintech guys, and you see David Sachs and you see all the guys from PayPal Mafia just kind of like
here or Texas.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of just grouped up. So the bull run rolls around. I think last time people can probably find out when I was here the last time for Monday Mondays, and I think Bitcoin was like $40,000 at the time. Bitcoin went from $15,000 all the way to 120 in a straight rip over a span of 18 months. And what we're seeing now is a natural correction in the markets. The people that are concerned are the ones that bought this is a correction, bro. Okay. It's a correction. I think right now people are trying to get risk off assets like we saw gold and silver, and that just absolutely skyrocket. That's just gold and silver repricing to what it actually is worth. So if you saw your net worth go down in the last 6 months towards gold, that's your actual net worth. Like gold is the hardest asset. Gold is the realest version of money. So if you were worth $1 million in gold a year ago versus today, the purchasing power is completely different. I think people are measuring their net worth in dollars, but if you look at the most intelligent people in society and in the finance space, when civilization is at the brink of civil war and unrest, gold is the place where people store their money. Bitcoin is a risk-on asset. They call it digital gold because they want to give it this marketing spin. But the first thing that people want to get rid of isn't their blocks of gold, it's the risk-on asset. And that has to do with the crypto markets. So we're seeing a sell-off, natural sell-off. We've seen how many times Bitcoin drop 50, 60% over its years. Many times. It's all about dollar cost averaging. Investing is not all about jumping all in, super degen, leverage. That's how you lose your asset. Every single day, dollar cost average into something you believe in. If you're out here buying coins, you're going to lose your money. And there's a season for it, right? There was a season where you could snipe a meme coin and make $100,000. We saw it. Like we saw it in this own city. We saw
Doge.
Like, yeah, it was real. We saw people make real money. But nowadays the market is different. It's a little bit complicated. You need to be investing, not trading. This market, and we see it with gold. We saw it with silver. Silver shoot up to 120 and drop back down to 80. That's a big spread difference. You need to be dollar cost averaging your way in and your way out.
That's interesting. I've never heard, someone really having crypto give precious metals its due diligence, because a lot of people kind of gloss over precious metals, like, oh, what am I, 70 years old? They laugh at the concept of gold or silver. They laugh at how inconvenient it is and how to trade with it is inconvenient because it's heavy. You can't travel with it, right? It doesn't have the same convenience as crypto. So would you say the only real I don't want to say real asset because that sounds awful, but like the real like tangible asset that like you can actually like put your money's worth is, you would say, precious metals? Like you would say, like, back off that?
I wouldn't take my word for it. If you look at the founder of USDT Tether, he right now has XAUD, which is the tethered version of gold on chain.
Yep.
So what he's trying to do is he's created this loop where they're printing infinite USD, right, through USDT, then putting it into digital gold, and then running an entire loop. They're going to run up the price of gold to $20,000. Watch, bro.
You think so?
100%.
What does it say? Last I checked a couple days ago, it was around 5,000. Yeah,
bro,
5,000.
A year ago, it was 3,000. The biggest guys in the room are hoarding gold. Everybody's running from the dollar. It's so evident. It's so obvious. It's a political tool. It's a financial weapon. It's not good. China doesn't like it. China's treasuries, holding U.S. treasuries at an all-time low since the Great Depression, since the 2008 financial crisis. All-time lows. Nobody trusts America.
Yeah.
It's very straightforward.
It's exactly why we went in.
We're going to gold.
Venezuela. Like, you know, people think it was all about the oil. Yeah, that's a part of it, but it was really like Venezuela, like de-dollarizing and, you know, using of BRICS and, you know,
we've seen it before. We saw it with Gaddafi. We've seen it with the attempts with North Korea. All you have to do is look at the countries that don't have central banks operated by the Rothschilds.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to see which are the next countries that are going to be targeted. It's very straightforward. Once you have all the monopolies set in place, then you can make everybody your slave. I was literally with my buddy downstairs being like, isn't it crazy that we live in a world of fiat where everything is credit, everything is debt? We're all debt slaves. And for some reason, people think that they're rich. But if you own equity in a company, a lawyer can do some write some papers, take you to court, take your equity. They can take your house. They can take your money. Take your Bitcoin and your gold. You can stash. You can put it away. It's the only thing I trust. Code, immutable code, and things that can't be replicated and printed out of thin air. You can't just print gold.
Yeah.
Even if you find gold, there's a process of refining. There's a process of mining. There's a supply chain that needs to be respected, that's audited. And yeah, people get scammed. There's fake gold bars, but there's also fake Bitcoin. There's also people stealing wallets. So there's always a risk on that. But the last thing you want to do is rely on the good faith and credit of the United States when they've lost it completely.
Yeah. We've you know, the tariffs obviously has made a lot of people angry. Like, we're going to dump treasuries. We're going to mess with you in this way. You know, and everyone's like, you know, and then obviously with the decline of the petrodollar and, you know, Saudi Arabia not using the petrodollar anymore. Well, not doing all their transactions in US dollars like they had agreed to in the 70s. Yeah, I mean, it's a very, and then you got these conflicts. Like anytime, you know, you got conflicts, you know, they're going to go gold. Like Russia, right before they invaded, funny story, I was talking about this on my other show. The day they invaded Ukraine, they had Hemeti, the leader of the RSF in Sudan, he was there delivering a bunch of gold the day they invaded Ukraine, because he knew they're going to kick us off SWIFT. They're going to, you know, sanction the hell out of us. How do we hold money in a safe manner? Gold. Yeah. They bought a whole bunch of gold. Same with the Chinese. And it's like, you know, the thing with gold, like people always complain about is like it's heavy and it's hard to trade or whatever. But, you know, it's probably one of the safest storages of wealth.
Well, that's exactly what you want. You want your gold of a national sovereign fund down locked in a bunker.
Yeah.
Like not on a seed phrase.
Yeah. So, okay. So for you're saying you think that gold is going to continue to rise, and you look at this as like a market correction rather than things plummeting.
A full repricing of everything, rinsing out people that are just tourists. The reprice, because everybody assumes that when we printed trillions of dollars during COVID, that was priced in right away into the market, and it wasn't. Okay. It takes years for it to get repriced back into the gold standard. Because it goes into speculation, it goes into spending, it goes into Amazon, it goes into crypto, it goes into all this shit. The moment it goes from hands to smart hands refilter it back to gold, and then it gets repriced. And now everybody has lost 50% of their net worth to the real currency, which is gold. So we are going to go back to a gold standard. Like it's 100% going. We might do it on chain where it's like, yeah, we have a dollar that's backed by actual gold, but we're going back to a gold standard 100%.
Yeah. Would you say, because I noticed that like once like we really started ramping up with the Armada in the Middle East with the potential invasion or attack of Iran, Do you think that played a role in it, or do you think this was inevitable at this point and it was going to come no matter?
It's inevitable because the entire petrodollar scam with the Fed of 1913, nobody buys it anymore. Okay. Everybody can create a currency out of thin air. You could go and create your own Myron currency, and if you had enough fame, enough pedigree, enough whatever, like Trump, you could create something.
Oh, yeah, the Trump coin.
Right, but once again, if you look at the entire insider flow of what that was just a big rug. Right? That was a big attempt to just mass extract liquidity. But once again, you don't need the dollar. If you have gold reserves, you can peg that yourself, tether it yourself, and then now China can have their own currency that's just running around. But you look at Gaddafi, you look at all the individuals that actually tried to instill a different currency, and they got
cooked.
They got cooked.
Okay, so go ahead. You want to
speaking of cooked? People are in disarray right now. They're upset. They're angry. They lost a lot of their obviously net worth over time because of crypto. Should it be mad right now? Is it going to go back up?
My net worth is down 40% in the last 90 days, but it's been
pretty calm about it.
Yeah, I mean, because once again, you either invest or you trade, right? So it's like you can't have the same mindset towards things.
Yeah.
If you're trading, you're trading. If you're investing based on conviction. So it doesn't matter whether something is 60,000, 90,000, 100,000, 200,000. If you know that it's going to 1 million, and if you're trying to get out of a currency that you don't trust. We play in a weird game, right? Because like the matrix is breaking, everything is weird, breaking around in real time around us. We don't know what to trust. So if it feels like we're hopping around assets, it's not uncommon or weird. That's the sign of the times. That's the sign that everything is collapsing in real time. So we have to go back to what is real. What is real? Code and gold currency. Yeah, so the real currency.
So you're saying that this is a correction, which is an interesting take. I think you're the first person that's framed it that way. And then you also mentioned like this is catching up to us. So all that money printing from 2020, the disarray, the craziness, etc. Trump coming in back into office, etc. Are you saying basically? Because I remember crypto went up to like 100, Bitcoin went to like 120 something.
Yeah.
And it broke 100 when he became around the time he became president. So would you say that like now we're finally like paying for all the that we did 6 years ago, pretty much?
For sure. For sure. And you're going to see it repriced into gold and repriced into silver. You're not going to see.
I knew something we were going to.
You're not going to see it repriced into real estate because nobody's buying real estate.
Yeah.
You can't fractionalize real estate. I can fractionalize gold and buy it paper gold online. I don't have to actually even own the physical gold now. I can just speculate on owning the gold that's in a vault somewhere in Switzerland. So like, especially now you bring it on chain with this Tether company, it gets completely crazy. Now you have, I don't know, North Korea can just buy $1 billion worth of, it's a different game that we live in.
Yeah.
I think people need to realize that the financial literacy that was taught before is no longer practical, that they need to diversify their portfolio. They need to have real estate. They need to have precious metals. They need to have crypto. They need to have a job. They need to have some sort of side income, a hustle. Like this is about allocating a basket that protects you in case one of these things go down. You can't have all your eggs in one basket, bro. Like it doesn't work that way. So yeah, okay, I got a lot of money in Bitcoin, but that's because I'm not holding USD. I'm holding Bitcoin. So like I see my net worth go up 10x. I also see it go down 40%. It's okay. It's part of the game plan. But that's not money that I'm spending.
Yeah.
I have active income. I have a business. I have savings. I have cash. That's set aside. If you're going to speculate, you're going to gamble, don't do it with leverage. Buy some Bitcoin, hold it, learn it, study it, buy some gold. We saw it go up 100% in a year.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot. People are trying to think about these meme coin gains, these $1,000 to $1 million. That's not real investing. That's gambling.
A lot of people scoff at precious metals too, especially young people. Young people are like, "Fuck, precious metals,"
and they got priced out,
Yeah.
and now they have to pay double.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have silver. Like I bought silver early on.
Dude, silver 250% in a year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's not because it's inflation. No, we're finally getting the true appreciated value of the paper dollar priced against the real asset. Once it's gone through the entire filtering process of what? Stimulus checks, gone through the entire financial supply chain, back to gold, back to whoever's holding the deposits, the repricing.
You know, it's interesting because I knew when the world shut down back in March of 2020, I was like, and I saw like, you know, businesses go down. I saw people walking around in masks, and you know, airlines weren't, you know, you got to sit 6 feet apart, whatever. I was like, we're gonna pay for this at some point.
For sure.
Like we are gonna pay for this. And like, honestly, like, you know, we had a little bit of a recession under Biden. But now with the way things are going, then obviously now we got these wars going on. It's like, so you're saying this is like the beginning of essentially us, you know, the piper coming to collect or after COVID.
Absolutely. And we have a few verticals. One is midterm years are always years where we either side trend or trend downwards. Like that's just look at your technical analysis, go look at the year of midterms. The markets initially do poorly, then they do well. Right. So here you have the Democrats trying to just take down the market. Yeah. And then here you have the Republicans trying to keep the market up because the sentiment is going to dictate whoever stays in office. Right. So they don't even care about whoever makes money or not money. They're caring about public opinion, influence, appearances, show. Right. Like Trump saying, hey, you know, we're going to double the stock market in the next 2 years. He's going to do it. They can print infinite money. Now he's assigning new chair in the Fed, right? Like the entire scheme is very deep.
Ron Lauder's son-in-law, I think, right?
Well, then you look at Canton Fitzgerald, and you look at the head of the Treasury right now in the United States. He's actually one of the co-owners of Tether. So the commingling of crypto, the commingling of the government, the commingling of precious metals and banks is so tightly knit together that if you just take some time to study what's taking place, you're going to buy real estate. You're going to buy land.
Yeah.
You're going to buy some sort of income properties that are cash flowing. You're going to have your precious metals hiding in a safe somewhere. You might have some nice luxury watches that have some sort of appreciation value. You're going to have some currencies that are spread through different currencies, Singapore, yen, a little bit of euros, USD, and then you're going to have your crypto. Then you can have a couple assets, you know, whatever. But I have just decided that Bitcoin is my main currency asset for now. I think right now we go back to 100,000, maybe then we downtrend back to 45, 50. I don't think we're at the bottom yet. I think people need to get smashed. I still see people speculating. I still see $1 billion of leverage longs or shorts getting liquidated every week. There's still a lot of money in the system.
Yeah.
And when you look at whether it's Chinese exchanges or whether you look at a Korean exchange yesterday, BitHump, they just minted, it was hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin that they were supposed to give out as dollars, but they reflected as Bitcoin. Bro, this is a big thing. They just created paper Bitcoin and people were selling it on the exchange. Bitcoin dropped 15% in the span of a minute because everybody was market selling.
Because that.
Yeah, because they're just creating paper Bitcoin. So that's what I'm saying. Like all these financial instruments that are wrapped and wrapped again and rewrapped in ETFs and in DATs and all these different things, all these different vehicles, the more we speculate, the riskier it becomes. The more money you make, the more you want to protect yourself, right? So you become a millionaire, you can't be thinking like the guy that has $5,000 to his name and needs to make it out of the trenches, right? Like you're in a different place. So it really is about speaking to people where they are. I wouldn't be thinking about getting rich. I'd be thinking about building out these baskets that interest me and start putting money into them. Dollar cost averaging across the way. It's the safest way to do it.
Yeah, because a lot of crypto guys are freaking out. I remember last time this happened, like a year or two ago, people were jumping off balconies in Miami, dude, when Ethereum hit when it hit like below 2K. People were jumping off balconies here.
It went to 1,400.
Yeah. People were literally jumping off balconies in Miami. There were a couple of different stories of people, because we had a lot of crypto bros here, right?
Yeah. Crazy in clubs, popping bottles and buying yachts and stuff. But look, real quick, you mentioned a bunch of stuff about where we're going with the Bitcoin and gold itself. Would you say that we're now in a recession?
We are in a place of stagflation. So that's stagnation where there's no growth in labor markets, there's no real growth in the market, and then we have inflation where we're just printing money out of thin air. So it's like we're basically talking post World War II depression. Like that's what we're looking at. The spend is out of control. Politicians doing whatever the fuck they want. Currency not being trusted overseas. That's probably what we're entering. I think we're entering a pretty bad season. All you have to do is look at the labor market. AI is a big problem. I have fired about 60% of my staff over the last year and just automated all the workflow.
Yeah.
I mean, why do you need a graphic designer anymore?
Yeah.
Graphic designers are out of jobs. Bro, you went to school for graphic design, you're cooked.
Yeah.
You're so cooked.
Yeah, no, it's bad. I predict sometime in the next few weeks, we're more than likely going to go to war with Iran and attack them. Netanyahu's coming to the United States, I think on Tuesday or tomorrow or Wednesday to discuss war plans. We're having Armada outside of Iran. I've been covering it very closely. I think at this point, there's no way. I don't see how there's not going to be an attack. How do you think that's going to affect the crypto market?
I mean, like it always does. It's going to go down.
Okay.
Like the rest of the market. We go to war with Iran. This is...
You think it's going down even further?
We're going to war with Iran.
Yeah.
Anybody that understands the script.
Yeah.
Knows what's going to happen.
Yeah. We're at least going to strike them.
For sure. Like, bro, they're going to reinstitute, they're going to put whoever they want in there. They're going to turn into the new Singapore of the Middle East. They're going to connect the river with the sea. They're going to do the little thing. Like, they're going to do their whole little spiel, bro. It's coming.
Yeah.
Luke read his Bible. So Luke, real quick, let's say someone's watching that is not a millionaire. They're working on their way up, regular job, but they feel stuck. How should they prepare for what's coming next, you think? Let's say they're making like $5 to $6K a month.
Have like a regular job.
Yeah.
Average salary, just wants to make it out. What should they do?
The first thing you got to do is not spend money. Like that's where you got to start. I remember I was making $100,000 with my marketing agency, social media marketing agency when I first got started, and I was still living on my brother Nate's couch for $200 a month. Right? So it's like I didn't buy my first supercar till I had over 10 million. I didn't do a deal. Liquid.
Okay.
Liquid.
Not even assets.
Damn.
Like liquid. Like I have it and I can spend it. Yeah.
My net worth is never calculated in assets. I only calculate what I can cash out tomorrow. Always. 100%. That's how I've always thought. I don't have any debt. I don't have any liabilities.
Sheesh.
Nothing. Everything's cash paid for. I'm a crypto bro, right?
Yeah, of course.
Credit is for the people that figured it out.
Yeah.
You know, going through the process.
Yeah, because like, you know, you get like a hard asset like real estate, right? Like that's not liquid. That's like, you know, okay, net worth because the house is worth this, blah, blah, blah. But like, okay, so you're like, you deal 100% liquidity.
100% liquid.
And, okay.
Net worth doesn't calculate equity and company. None of that matters.
Okay.
All that is inflated.
So until you were 10M liquid,
I didn't even consider a supercar. Nothing. No vacations. Just simple life. Because if you can achieve simplicity, you're good.
Yeah.
Everything else is an ego play. So I'm a man that's married. I don't have to go out and impress girls. So I don't have to spend money.
Big amount of money saved right there.
Like I don't spend money on that. Like we all know. Like, bro, yeah, it's a black hole. So instead, you're a married man, you're investing in a relationship. The girl doesn't want you to take her to dinner. She just wants family time. She wants to be at home. She wants to be taken care of.
Quality time.
Quality.
Yeah.
So in the situation, you begin to structure your life to save. And then you're like, okay, I want to go from saving, from creating wealth, whether it's from an income of a job, you want to create a side hustle because you have two things. They're called deficits and then super habits. So super habits is when you make more money at the end of the month than you spend, right? Your P&L is green, or you call it in the black. If you're in the black versus in the red every single month, what you want to take is that additional money, instead of spending it, investing it. Instead of buying iPhone 1 or iPhone 15, you buy Apple stock, right? And that's what the philosophy is don't be a consumer. Understand who is the one that is carrying the value at the time and invest in that. Bro, it was so easy to make money over the last 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, there were so many opportunities.
Easy, bro.
And it's going to get only harder.
Here you have a dude from Argentina. You have a dude that lived in the Caribbean. You have a dude that's former Fed.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't supposed to be millionaires making money online. Like, that wasn't part of the equation. We made money. This is real. Like, we all made it in different verticals. It's not like it's woo-woo. It's not 2010. It's real. So what we did was far from spending our initial principal. So that's the biggest problem most people have, is they spend what they don't have. If you're on credit, you're cooked, bro. You're so cooked. No credit cards. Get rid of that. That's some.
Or use them properly.
But like
most people don't use it.
If you're broke, that's a temptation.
Yeah,
it's not an asset.
Yeah.
If you have no income, that's having a credit card is a hole because you have interest rates.
Most people can't weaponize credit cards properly.
For
the
sure.
credit cards weaponize them.
They don't have discipline.
Yeah.
If they don't have financial discipline, it's going to leak and it's going to be able to be noticeable in all these other areas.
And it kills me because if people use credit cards the way they're supposed to be used, like you can, dude,
absolutely,
they're so good. But yes, you're right.
It's
Most
like
people are idiots.
It's a game because they see $2,000 credit and they think that they have $2,000, and they don't. Right? It's like the guy that gets leverage in crypto and says, "Oh, well, now I have $1 million and I have 5x leverage on my 200K." No, you have 800,000 in debt, bro. Like uncollateralized debt right now.
Yeah.
Like that's not a joke.
Yeah.
So the first thing, don't spend. The second thing is you need to multiply your wealth. So you need to be investing long term. Investing comes from compounding. Warren Buffett talks about the compounding effect, compounding over 10, 20, 30 years. When you buy a good company, when you buy a healthy company, just go look at the stock of McDonald's. It never goes down. They're a real estate mogul company. They're not flipping patties, right? They're a real estate portfolio company. Damn. So you're just going to put your money there. You can put your money into Tesla. You can put your money into NVIDIA. All these companies that are focused on AI, robotics, that's where the money's at. Risk on with crypto, I would buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hyperliquid, Kita. These are all high quality projects that are, I think, safe.
Yeah, I think Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can't go wrong. It's like two set in at this point. Ethereum and Bitcoin, it's like they're here to stay.
They're legacy products.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah.
So you think it's going to go down with a conflict? Because and then obviously precious metals typically go up with conflicts, which is why it's going so crazy. So you think we're not at the low? You think 40K is the low?
I think we'll visit the 50s. I think we haven't seen. There's so many coins that have like 9-figure valuations.
Yeah.
So many altcoins, so many different chains, like this chain, that chain, this thing that nobody uses is what we call ghost chains. They're just dead liquidity. There's nothing there. All of that speculation has to get rinsed. They have to rinse all of that speculation clean. Once we do that, the big whales, they buy, market goes up. They could pump the price of Bitcoin up to 120,000 if they wanted tomorrow. This is accumulation phase.
Okay. So,
and it doesn't matter, once again, right? Like if you're buying Bitcoin at 60K and it goes down to 42, goes down to 48, it doesn't really matter. If you bought your Bitcoin at 100,000, you're probably sweating. Like,
you're pissed right now.
You're pissed.
Yeah.
But that's your fault.
Yeah. But you waited too long. Like, you waited too long.
Like if Bitcoin goes from 15,000 to 100,000, you buy it at 100,000. Bro, that's your fault. Just look at the chart. It's parabolic.
Yeah. So what would you say if it, what is the number where it's like, oh, now we need to actually be concerned here? You're saying you think it could hit as low as 40.
Bitcoin went, bro. Bitcoin went from 20,000 to 3,500 in the dump of COVID. ETH went from 15.
So there's no number that worries you.
There's no number, bro. It's how many Bitcoins do I have? Like, I'm just like as long as I can hold on to these Bitcoins, like I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, I need more money. Well, I can't spend these things.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer that every man should aim to have at least one Bitcoin.
Absolutely.
I think
dude, absolutely. One Bitcoin guarantees you will become a millionaire. Anybody watching can go out and make $70,000. If they live in the West, they can make $70,000 online in the next 18 months. Hustling, figuring it out, save it up. You can buy a Bitcoin if you're serious.
Yeah. When do this is big projection, but when do you think we get to a point where we got $1 million Bitcoin? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years?
I have no idea because the government can adopt it instantly. We print new money, another $10 trillion. Bitcoin is no longer priced in dollars. Like that's why it's like a little bit weird. I don't know the number. All I can say is
at some point it will
buy as much Bitcoin that you can because eventually you're going to get priced out.